Welcome to Guitar Gallery. It's Stefan and Stefan here. Today we're doing another review on a Lowden O-22. Just to remind you that Guitar Gallery is the agent and reseller of Lowden guitars in South Africa. Now the O-22 is where it all started, Stefan.
Yeah, it's part of the original series, and then we'll get to the wood specs, but the Cedar and mahogany used to be known as the O-10, and it's one of the models that really put Lowden on the map.
So just to take you through the specs, I think to start off, this is a big body, this guitar, Stefan.
It's an understatement. It's a massive guitar.
I mean, you look at the width of the sides.
It's a really deep guitar, and luckily because of the narrow waist, it sits snugly. It's not uncomfortable to play.
Yeah.
Your arm fits nicely over the lower bout, and it's not uncomfortable to play. Actually, in contrary to some other smaller bodied guitars, so the design of the guitar is really comfortable to hold and play, which is important.
Yeah, exactly.
Especially for for any artist, but especially some of the contemporary fingerstyles, you need to be still and you need to be comfortable with the guitar. And I've seen how that really plays a major role these days.
And then, so if we look at the top, we've got a cedar top. On the bracing, I mean, the one thing about the Lowdens is the A-brace here that really creates quite a rigid area here, and that helps with the sustain. If we look at the back, beautiful mahogany back and sides.
What I really appreciate about this is the unstained color of
very
mahogany,
natural
actually.
looking.
Yeah, and I like the natural feel and the finish also. It just gives it a really natural woody feel, which we can always jump from there to the sound.
Yeah.
Because this instrument is it's big and lush, but typical to Lowden, it's loud. It's very loud to play. It's easy to play, like on the similar models or on the previous models we've reviewed. It's so easy to get the sound out of the guitar. But then this guitar really shines for me in the combination of you get a massive sound from this guitar. It's a big and loud bass, but it's very much in control, and that's what I appreciate about mahogany body construction guitars. So you couple that with the cedar top and the rosewood bridge. We actually discussed this because cedar is known to be a transparent top wood, which would usually bring out the characteristics of the back and sides or the body construction. Now the body construction is mahogany, so you obviously have that woody, almost flat EQ response, strong mids and strong highs. And then we had an interesting conversation with a local luthier about if the desire was there to add some overtone content to a mahogany body guitar, and he said, why don't you slap a rosewood bridge on there? And
Exactly
we noted that there's a rosewood bridge and an ebony fretboard. It's not often that you find a difference, but they obviously very intentionally put the rosewood bridge on it. So the overall sonic palette of this guitar, you've got from this lowest lows that you can expect, all in balance due to the mahogany, but the lowest lows you have from the massive body, and then you bring it all the way through to the crisp and fat mid-ranges of mahogany, through the crisp, the clarity of cedar. And it's such a versatile guitar to play, because you can obviously play it soft, you can play it all over the neck. We've played it with on the video clips with the capper up on the neck. The cedar is very responsive, but you wouldn't find that typical lack of a headroom that you find in the cedar top.
That's the thing for me, because I've got this thing about headroom and
and
play it safe
that
and buy a Eddie top, but I mean, I don't get it. I thought cedar, you can't strum it, but this thing...
No, we strummed it on the videos, and this is the loudest. This is the single loudest guitar I've ever played, and it's amazing because I do have I'm a versatile player. I do play with my bare fingers and with a plectrum, and when I do play with the plectrum, I play softly and I play loudly. And with the strumming or picking, and this guitar's got a big headroom for a cedar top. So much so that for my ears' sake, I wouldn't go further looking for where the headroom is actually located at. And it's so surprised how versatile this guitar is. For the finger stylist, I would definitely say the strong point of this guitar, the selling point, would be the harmonic, the ease of to get more harmonics out of the guitar. The volume of the harmonics is almost the same as the primary note that you would play. And then also, because this cedar top is so responsive, hammer-ons and tap-ons and hammer-offs, the notes pop out so easily. So I could just see why this guitar would be a fingerstyle favorite. And it's so versatile. We've seen players like Damien Rice and for Vance, they primarily strummers, and they play these guitars, also Cedar top guitars. So it really speaks towards the versatility of these instruments, which I grew to appreciate so much.
And I think maybe the other thing I picked up was just the amount of sustain from this guitar. And as I've mentioned earlier, you've got this A-brace creating a more rigid area, but then you also have the famous 5-piece neck where you've got the mahogany and then a piece of rosewood, and then mahogany and rosewood, and mahogany again, and that obviously gives you a very rigid neck, helping with that sustain, because it was just going on forever and ever.
Absolutely. And when Thomas Lee visited us a few months ago, he spoke about the neck and how it's absolutely for him one of his favorite necks to play, because it's so, obviously Lowden's got their signature ovaling shape, but the rigidness of the neck, that neck's not going anywhere. So it's a really stable neck. It makes for a great setup on a guitar because the neck is just dead straight. And then the sustain, it's a Lowden. You're gonna get that. I must say, all the Lowdens we've had in stock have got that typical Lowden sustain. It's beautiful, which also I think is why it appeals to so many fingerstyle players, because you can just really let those melodies ring out, and then it'll get complex as it harmonizes, as it's sustained together. It's a very, very rewarding guitar to play.
The best is to come here, visit, experience it for yourself. Even the smell is very different to any of the other guitars.
It's different.
It's got the Lowden smell.
Absolutely.
So we would love to have you over for you to experience this. And thank you for watching. We really do appreciate it, and we hope to see you soon. Bye-bye.